Many Amazon sellers lose profit by relying on pricing strategies that don't maximize their product's potential. In this video, you will discover how Profasee's AI-powered pricing platform can automatically adjust your product prices, boost profit margins by 10% or more, and synchronize seamlessly with your PPC campaigns for the best results. If you want to try Profasee, sign up using the link below and use the code OrangeClick to get exclusive 20% discount. And by the way, this video is part of the Demo Mondays video series where we invite Amazon software creators to present their tools just like this on the screen. Hello chat, I'm happy to have you here to talk about pricing strategies and a perfect solution you have developed with your team for Amazon sellers. So before we jump to the Profasee software tool, could you please shortly introduce yourself, because I know you are in Amazon space for a long time.
Yeah, for sure. So some quick context on me. I've been in the Amazon space for, let's see, around 17 years. I've built and sold 3 businesses in the space, 2 to publicly traded companies and 1 to a private equity company. So Stubana, we sold in 2021. It was an order management, inventory management software for multi-channel sellers, selling on Amazon, but also selling on Shopify and many other channels out there. Prosper Show, the world's biggest Amazon conference, I was a co-founder. And then Seller's Choice, which is an agency. So I actually still run an 8-figure Amazon brand today where I'm in the trenches, I'm not on the sidelines. And now, obviously, I've started Profasee, which is an AI pricing platform powering some of the top brands on Amazon. And we help them make millions in extra profit by winning the margin game, which is the most important game to be playing on Amazon right now.
Yes, amazing. So I know that we will have a demo of your tool, but before that, you have a few slides to explain the logic and what's happening inside your solution.
Sure. So most brands focus on PPC. And don't get me wrong, we love acquisition. I love discovery. And it's crucial on Amazon to be advertising, but the same emphasis is not placed on pricing. And this leads to massive amount of opportunity. So today, what we're going to really talk about is instead of throwing more money at ads, we can talk about iterating on pricing, and this can produce massive gains for the business because pricing is actually completely ignored. And it's actually the biggest lever where that money flows to the bottom line. So let's dive in. So what we've started, this came out of my own e-commerce business. Like I mentioned, I sell a business that's been really put to the test, immense test on Amazon. You already know the margins are super tight. Competition from China is brutal. And the difference between winning and losing on Amazon is simply data. And so while I sold my software business, Stubana, I was thinking about my e-commerce business and really going back into that business to figure out how do I revive it? How do I make it better? And so I started changing pricing for ourselves and then realized that we can be offering this to a lot of other people. So today, what I'm going to show you is the software that we've built that is designed to automatically understand the true value that you bring to the customer on Amazon and how do you charge for that value. Now, importantly, you are always in control, right? You set the price limits and the boundaries, which I'll share with you in this upcoming tour, but you're always going to be in control over your pricing parameters. Now, a couple of things that make this very different, because Augustus, when we first started the conversation, you said Amazon sellers, and I want to make a slight distinction that we are built for Amazon brands that sell on Amazon. So there's a lot of repricers out there. They all race to the bottom. It's like a pissing contest. Instead, we focus on living and dying by the search engine ranking page on Amazon. So we help sellers compete for top of search on Amazon because no one knows really what their price is. Kind of like Uber or Lyft or Expedia when you're booking airlines or a car, there's so many signals to ingest. And so what we do is we use AI to figure out the signals. You set the boundaries and we're going to optimize within those boundaries. And we're using real AI. I know AI is thrown around right now, but we have cutting edge machine learning algorithms that predict demand and price on an ASIN level. So it's not one size fits all. Every ASIN gets their own model. In fact, every ASIN gets two different models. The second is that we're a software with a service. This is another big differentiator between us. A lot of people give you a tool and they say, hey, good luck, have fun. I think that those days are over where you can just buy a tool and try to figure it out. You can still be a fool with a tool. So what we do is we provide software with a service. So we help and handhold you to get to an outcome. If we haven't delivered you an outcome, we haven't done our job. So we help you flourish, we help you deliver, we help get you to an outcome in the business, which is why we have a 3x ROI guarantee. 3 is we're built for brands, like I mentioned earlier, super important, right? We've been really hard at work solving the private label problem on Amazon. Resellers, rule-based, tons of software out there, but there's nobody that understands demand across your ASINs for private label businesses, understands competition and the market forces and BSR and ranking and everything else to help make sure that we're delivering an outcome, whether it's profit, revenue, or velocity. We'll get to some of the advanced customizations and the data here, and then let's just dive right into results. I think that's probably the most important person. I think people are tired of paying for a service or software with no result or no outcome. And so today, what we're going to be diving into, and now before the Amazon world, 20 years, I was on Wall Street. And the same principles applied from Wall Street to Amazon, right? It's a marketplace, it's a fast moving marketplace, and there's inefficiencies. Now, the inefficiencies on Amazon stem from the same issues. Customers are not making rational purchasing decisions, and your competitors don't process information perfectly. And so that's it, right? If your shoppers are irrational and Amazon, you don't know what Amazon, and your competitors are clueless, the market is inefficient. And so Profasee actually helps to turn those inefficiencies into financial gain. We capitalize on those inefficiencies. Now, there's tons of proof points all over our website. You can check out profasee.com. So many proof points on the website. And the interesting thing is a lot of Amazon sellers and brands, if you ever went to a conference, they don't even tell you what category they sell in. So imagine now telling brands to go share with everybody that they're making more money with the tool that you're selling. It's hard. It's an uphill battle, but luckily we have tons of people that are willing to go on the record. So we'll share with you a few case studies on this call. And what we typically see across the 400 brands on Profasee is that we deliver at least a 10% lift in profit, in absolute profit dollars, not percentages, 10% more money in your pocket. And we do it with not a lot of overhead, no effort on your side. So we're really handling a lot of the operationalizing of the data and the pricing to make you more money. Now, if we look at this supplement brand here, and we look at this graph, you can see the red line is profit of this year. The blue line is profit of last year. Down below here, we're dynamically rotating price, changing pricing to capitalize on the mispricing that exists on the marketplace. And you can see as we surge the price, that gap widens over time. And that is precisely the 7 figures more that we delivered to this business on an annual basis. So let me pull up actually his listing. So here's the listing. And if we scroll down to the Keepa data, which is a great Chrome extension for tracking data, right? You can see that this customer rarely changes price. Sometimes he runs a deal here or there. He doesn't even know, a lot of people don't know why they're running deals. And it's a flat price. Now we come in, we start to dynamically rotate price. What is pink? Pink is the buy box price. And green down below here is the category rank, the BSR, the bestseller rank. So you can see that his rank was staying in this specific style for a bit. We started to dynamically rotate price. Okay. So we're changing price to learn what is the optimal price point for the first 30 days. And then you can see what happens to his rank. It actually improves It got better. Meanwhile, we're selling at a higher average selling price. So a higher average selling price with a better rank means you're doing more velocity, more unit velocity at a higher price, meaning more money, without losing your visibility. And then over here, you can see we're hitting the top of his range all the time. This is his max price. And we said, look, the market could absorb a higher price. We believe the market can absorb a higher price and you have pricing power. And you can see that we surged pricing here, and you can see his ranking stayed relatively flat. And this is that profit capture opportunity that I'm talking about. And there's nothing like seeing it on Amazon.com, and it's a beautiful, beautiful chart here. So this is one example of how our system works. So I have lots of case studies to share. This is another guy, I'm sure, Augustus, Mike Jackness. He's also an OG in the space. And when we took on his brand, he was like, Chad, look, I want to sell this company in 6 months. So I need to boost the EBITDA. I need to boost my earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, amortization before selling, because he's going to be valued on the profit gains that we deliver. So you can see that when we took them on in the off season, we drove the price downwards so we can drive more volume and a better ranking position. Then in the in season, we started to hike up price and peak demand so we can capture a bigger profit margin. And this significantly bumped up their exit multiple. So you can see the red line is the profit this year, blue line is the profit last year, and that gap widening, that's us delivering him more money. So you can say in a way, right, that Profasee is helping sellers get unstuck to a degree. And it becomes an edge because we're essentially finding hidden profit leads that you don't have time to hunt down manually. It's just nearly impossible. I've got tons of other graphs I can show you where, for example, on this one, this company came to us and their profit of last year was better than this year. So they came to us and the business was suffering. It was on a downward spiral, on the death spiral. And you can see we came over and we took that business and we turned it around for the first time in 2 years. Boom, the red line is above the blue line. Now, I also want to share that this is not just locking into the United States. We cover multiple marketplaces. In fact, I think we cover every international Amazon marketplace out there. So if you're global and you need a tool that actually speaks the language of profit, you know where to find us. So here's a seller that 3x his profit. Cool. All right, so there's lots here. This Mess brand's a pretty vocal brand where we also increase his profit tremendously. That here's his price. His ranking stayed relatively stable. And you can see that we went for it and we made him a whole lot more money. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to now take you behind the curtain. I'm going to show you how we do it. I know you're probably wondering, well, like, this is great. You're making people more money, but how do you approach this? So the first thing we do is you connect your account to Profasee. We're an Amazon certified partner. So we're in the Amazon App Store. You connect your Amazon Seller Central account. We go back 2 years on Seller Central, and we go back 3 months on ads. We pull all of this data in. Now we're enriching all of this data to really build a strong foundation. And we're using this data to answer very important pricing questions. So we're training our models around your data. We're doing this to find patterns, trends, correlations that are invisible to the human eye. So we're looking at all this stuff. And then on top of that, we actually go out and pull your competition. So I'm going to show you that in the demo as well. We pull your competitors. We do a reverse ASIN lookup. We find your top 5 competitors. We pull in all their information. And now we fully have trained the model. Now from here, what we're doing is it's still not enough. So on the second slide, we do something called hyper learning. To really uncover opportunities, we price test at scale systematically to train the model. So that graph I showed you on the Amazon seller that never changes price, it's a problem. Imagine if you go on Netflix and you never watch anything, or if you go on YouTube and you don't watch anything, the algorithm doesn't know what to serve you. And it's the same thing on Amazon. It's an algorithm. And so what we do is we create the data. We make small, daily price tests within a -5 to +5% boundary. So, like I mentioned, just like Netflix, you can't recommend what you don't engage with. So we make these tiny price changes to see how Amazon reacts to price changes, how your competitors react to price changes, and how your customers react to price changes. And so, like Netflix learns your taste in movies, we are learning your optimal price points and understanding all the externalities and changes to help you sharpen the sword and help us sharpen our sword, our model, to make better decisions. And we're learning from these changes over time. So we do this, and then boom, we full blown move into the optimization and exploitation phase. And so we're implementing these price changes, all the learnings, and every single implementation of a price change, we're learning from that as well. And the goal here is we're capitalizing on the imbalance. We're capitalizing on these mispricings and the discrepancies on the Amazon marketplace to leverage them as financial opportunities. Now, my grandfather used to say, if you don't respect the penny, you don't deserve the dollar. And so even the smallest pricing inefficiency can be a source of profit, right? It's those pennies that you find in the cushions of your couch. And those can add up tremendously over time into significant money in your pocket. After that, we move into the reporting phase. So in the reporting phase, we're showing you progress reports. So every month, like I mentioned, we're a software with a service. We're giving you not only a dashboard, but we're showing you not just tracking results, but how we're leveraging them to improve your outcomes over time. So we're giving you a sustained competitive advantage. And we're keeping you in the loop of that process of how we've made your business more effective. All right, now I want to show you even further behind the curtain of how this works. So I'm going to give you an application tour. And I'm going to show you every feature. I'm going to show you how it's going to make you more money, how it's going to save you time, or how it's going to lower your risk. And I'm going to show you exactly how each piece does that. So let me hop over into our software platform and get ready to buckle up because it's awesome. Okay, so first thing you'll notice is that we're built for aggregators or agencies. So you can see you can have an organization here, and in an organization, you can have your other channels. And then you can add additional marketplaces. Like I mentioned, we support all the international marketplaces. So Augustus, I know he's a big traveler. He's almost like a nomad. And we support probably all the countries that he's been in, where he's moved to. And so we can add those channels here. Now, when you click on the Profasee logo here, you'll see what accounts are connected. And first thing you'll see is we have Seller Central, like I mentioned, and we have ads. We go back 2 years on Seller Central. We go back 3 months on Amazon ads. You can connect right here. It takes 2 minutes. Bingo, bango, bongo. You're ready to go. Then we move over into the Repricer settings. So this is your command center, right? This is really where you set up the nuances of your business. So right here, there's a group button. A grouping is, let's just say you had a variation, a kit or a bundle, and you want to create a relationship across those ASINs. You can select those ASINs, and now you can create a pricing relationship. So you can decide if you want the pricing in those variation kits or bundles to move together, if you want them to move a percentage difference, or you want them to completely beat to their own drum, where they're moving individualized from each other. Next up, once you get that set up, you can see here's a group, and there's just one in the group, and here's the ASIN. This is the parent. You want to set up your goal. What's your goal for that specific ASIN? So understanding your intention is really important. So let's just say you're launching a new product. Well, you're going to probably want to target velocity because you want to increase rank on that SKU. So you can actually target a specific velocity on a daily basis. Or maybe you want to increase profit but not hurt your ranking position. So the increased profit model is specifically designed to harvest profit without hurting your discoverability or your rank on the Amazon platform. And then lastly is your increasing revenue. We're focusing on top line revenue. Next up is a profile. So every ASIN has their own nuance. Maybe your ASIN has a subscribe and save. Maybe it has a bestseller badge. So you can set up profiles, and this adjusts the constraints in the model, the magnitude, the frequency of the changes, and the constraints inside the model itself. Also, you can decide if you want to be a little bit more aggressive, maybe you're risk seeking, or perhaps you want to be risk neutral, or you're more risk averse. Then you set up your profit guard. Do I want to protect my gross profit? Do I want to protect my net profit, or I don't care about protecting profit at all? Now, in that group, you can also set up your min and max price. So the min and max price here is going to change your profit margin, so you can see the opportunity of profit margin. And this is the boundaries and the parameters that I was sharing with you earlier. So you put your min and max price here, and then we're going to stay within those boundaries. You've got your cost of goods sold right here. And then lastly, I'm sure you might be wondering, well, what about Amazon suppression? Right? This is very, very important. So there's two reasons why Amazon would suppress your buy box for price. One would be because they simply just don't like the price. It's a high price. Or two, there's some sort of channel conflict off Amazon where Amazon is scraping other channels off of Amazon and saying that the other channels are cheaper. So if you select both, what happens here is that we've built in automatic suppression detection technology that will automatically take your price and revert it back to the original price if there is a suppression to protect the integrity of the buy box. So this is next level. By the way, all the stuff I'm showing you here, I've never seen this in another platform. These are really hard challenges that we're solving. And we've really worked hard on building out thoughtfully these specific features to make you more money. Now, let's just say you run a Prime Day deal, and the Prime Day deal is coming up. And so you can actually take this frozen button and you can freeze the price. So you don't have to babysit an ASIN. You can say when that Prime deal starts and when it ends, what the price is, and you can freeze it for that time period. On top of that, if you're running a Prime Day deal, let's just say Amazon requires you to be 20% lowest price in the past 30 days. So the min price right here is going to be 20% above that Prime Day deal price. So now you're protecting the integrity of your deal with the sophistication of the platform. All right, cool. So I've covered a lot of the basic settings. By the way, if the competitive threshold is hit, or if there is a channel conflict, it actually gets logged in our system. So we log it, so it becomes a learning in the model, so it never becomes violated again. So it gets logged here. Cool. Augustus, any questions on this before I go into more advanced functionality?
I just liked when you said before that your system is learning from how competitors are behaving. So does it mean that you are tracking not only your client's price, but also competitor prices, right?
All right, you just reminded me, you know what? Because we zoomed in on this app, on the Profasee application, I just had to stroll over. Completely forgot. Thank you so much. Look, Amazon is a war. And if you're not watching your competitors, you're losing. So with this competitor's analysis, I'll say, what you see is that we automatically pull in your competition. So we pull in your competitors, your top 5 competitors. And if you're like, hey, Chad, those competitors aren't the ones I want to track, okay, no problem. You go here to edit, you add your competition, and you can change your competitive landscape for that specific ASIN. And with this, you're going to see their price moves, and we're already pulling all this in, right? Data is the new orange. Data is really taking it and operationalizing the data. is really of utmost important, which is what AI is very, very good at. So what we're doing is we're pulling in their pricing moves, we're pulling in their deals and promotions, we're pulling in when they're out of stock, and those are opportunities that we can surge and take share. So we're taking a hard look at all the price moves that are happening. We're seeing their BSR versus your BSR relative to each other. And we're also able to create a min-max price where we can peg and create a relationship around pricing, cross ASIN private label repricing to change, hey, I want to stay within the min-max price, or I want to hit a specific price. When that competitor makes a change, I'm going to make a change. And so the benefit really here of all of this is that you're staying 3 steps ahead. Instead of reacting weeks or months later, we are actually ingesting this in real time and then executing on this to make you whatever the intention is that you've set up or the goal you've set up on the platform for that specific ASIN, whether it's to make more money, revenue, or drive a specific unit velocity.
And how many competitors can you enter in that screen?
Right now it's 5.
And if you have a lot of SKUs, are you able to kind of populate automatically? Or?
Yes. So we have an import. You can use a Google, this template, which is a Google spreadsheet, or you can use a CSV file to automatically upload them. You can also set up global settings, which I'll go over on an ASIN level. These are advanced settings to override any of the automatic ASIN levels. So let's dive into the actual advanced setting area. Here we go. So this advanced setting area, for example, you can set up you can target a specific unit velocity. So if you're maybe in the newly launch phase, or potentially maybe tariffs are affecting your business and you don't want to run out of stock, because running out of stock is just simply death, especially if you have to go reorder that at a much higher price point, and tariffs are a moving object. So you can set up how many targets you want to sell on a per day basis based on a specific look back period with price adjustments, frequency, and the change of magnitude. So you can set up your target velocity rules here. Now, on top of that, you have inventory intelligence. So pricing touches all parts of the business, and all parts of your business have to touch pricing. So we've built in this inventory awareness and inventory intelligence into the business. So what does that mean? That means that if you're overstocked, and this is where sellers mess up, right? Because they overstock and overstuff FBA, you can set up an inventory age here of what's allowable. So anything over that, the model will start to lower the price to get that out of the Amazon FC. It'll lower the price to essentially offset those long-term storage fees that you're getting hit with. And on the flip side of that, we have a low stock model. This low stock model, what that means is that if you're running low on stock at FBA, we're going to maximize the remaining profit on those units to make you as much money as possible. So one is to make sure, hey, you're not tying up too much cash into dead stock, get that out of the Amazon FC. And the other one is like, hey, let's make as much money on the stock that we have. There's even inbound. I mean, this is even more advanced, right? Where like if you're inbound and when you send product into Amazon, it'll change the delivery window. And sometimes that affects your conversion rate. So if you enable this and you do have a longer than expected delivery time, our model will automatically adjust the price to offset your conversion rate getting hit because you have a longer window of delivery time. We also have a crowd favorite, which is called surge pricing. Now, this is really where we talk money, because just like Uber surge pricing, right? We've done this now for private label brands. So if you've enabled this, you can trigger a specific percentage, and based on that demand that gets triggered, we can apply a multiplier on that, and we can check it on specific times of the day. So let me give you some use cases. One is a competitor to be running out of stock or run out of stock, and now there's a run on the demand, and now your demand increases, And so you're not stuck at that lower price that you've guessed or you've just left statically. You can now capitalize and exploit that for your opportunity. Two is, let's just say you're in Miami. You're in Miami and there's a storm that happens. So with the storm that happens in Miami, you're selling umbrellas and now there's a surge in demand. Boom, we can increase price. And then lastly, maybe you're driving outside traffic to the listing and there's an influencer driving traffic to the listing. We can pick up on that and will automatically also surge demand. So we've done this for umbrella companies. We've done this for bed bug companies where someone shouted out their bed bug product and made a lot of money while this was enabled. We also have B2B pricing. So like, again, I'm going super advanced here and a little bit more detailed. So we have B2B pricing. We have price no-go zones or prices that you do want to hit in the platform, allowable prices. We have quantity discounts that you can set up, and even a ranking model to make sure that we're constantly protecting your BSR, your bestseller rank on Amazon. Okay, cool. So that's on the Repricer command setting here. And then when I talk about results, we care about delivering you a result. We care about making your business more effective and delivering you an outcome to the point where we have a 3x ROI guarantee where we put our money where our mouth is. And so if we don't deliver you a outcome, that's 3x of whatever you put into Profasee. If you put $100 in and we don't deliver you 3 times that $100 into the machine, we're going to keep working for free until you see that value. So in this key insights area, when you first come on the platform, we actually use AI to project forward a baseline of what would have happened without Profasee. Then we have your previous year-over-year data and your current data. And so we can splice this up across your revenue, units sold, contribution profit dollars, gross profit. And when we go through the results with you, we show you how much money we've made you across every metric, across the account, across the parent ASINs, the groups that you've set up, the ASINs individually, or even the strategy. And if you're a big enough company, like an aggregator or an agency, we essentially can do an A/B test of the repriced SKUs versus the control SKUs. On top of that, right, we have this activity timeline. So this shows you what we're repricing, and it's showing you what's being repriced, what we're optimizing, what hasn't been optimized yet, the changes that have happened, and the days that we've been repricing. But most importantly, we really changed the conversation from what to why. People are like, wait a minute, this is a black box. Why is the model making the specific changes it's making? And so our team of data scientists that support your business, walk you through why we're making changes, why the model is making specific changes, and how to overcome those changes, or how do we it's really explaining. It's de-black boxing the black box. It's explaining exactly why the model is making the decisions it's making. Now, we oversee all the decisions, just so everybody is aware. We have a data science team that supports your business, and they oversee the changes that are happening to make sure that it's supervised and we're protecting the integrity of the outcome that we promise to deliver you.
I like how you call your solution a software with a service, SOAS.
So
And
last,
of course, you cannot deliver service or guarantee profit if Amazon listings are not made properly. So maybe you can give us a little bit an overview what is important on the Amazon listings in order your software to deliver the best results.
yeah, that's a great question. So in terms of like what do we need to get you to an outcome? So when now you're hearing what we do, right? You heard the basics. You've heard more of the basics, right? You've seen a lot of the advanced stuff that we're doing. And the next step is that we send you a link to connect your account. So after you have a demo with us, get a link to connect your account. And in that link, which this is going to be part of our user interface, so this is going to be outdated very shortly, but right now you get a spreadsheet with every single ASIN with what model is eligible, or what ASIN is eligible for a specific model. So what we really need is we need data, right? The more the data we have, the better we have. So it has to be there has to be at least 3 to 5 units sold a day on average to be able to qualify for the profit, the revenue, and the target velocity model. And so it's not about what the listing needs to have. The listing needs to have the data so that we can consume the data, and then we can take that data to make you more money. Okay. Now, I did mention earlier that we have this 3x ROI guarantee. So if you're serious about selling on Amazon, we're serious about supporting you. And so you can actually take us for a spin. It's a 3x ROI guarantee, or we work for free. And so I don't know another person in our space that actually has, that even cares about an outcome for you, that can even make a guarantee in this way. Because a lot of them just give you a tool or give you reports, and that's just not how we operate. And so that's really the tour. You know, I can go into PPC and how that works in our platform. That's definitely a more advanced strategy. All right, now, most brands on Amazon are bleeding money really in two places: pricing and ads. And so if you think about pricing, we can immediately deliver you 10% on average of profit increase. But there's a way to actually amplify our results, and that's by pairing it with PPC, because pricing touches all parts of your organization. I showed you the inventory intelligence, but on top of that, there's PPC. And so if you think about it, let's just say you increase the price, even ever so slightly, there's a relationship between price and demand. And so if you increase price and demand drops, you can artificially inflate your demand with advertising. And so most sellers are actually not doing this. Now, if you look at the hardest category to compete with on Amazon, that's actually garlic presses. And if you look at what's happening here, I want you to take a look at this. This is super fascinating. The average price for a garlic press in the organic listings is $11.72. Now, if you scroll up the sponsored listing, they're charging $18.37. That's a 57% price gap. So what's going on here? It's not simply what everyone's been taught by Amazon, is that ads drive traffic. It's actually that it's that ads amplify pricing power. And this only works if your price is optimized. So this is the game, really, is that price and PPC, most brands are treating them separately, like in silos. And when you combine them, it actually becomes a massive lever that you can use to make even more money. So how do we turn this chaos into a cash machine? What we do is, and this is really where it gets next level because nobody is doing this. Every Monday, we can send you a spreadsheet. Because when Profasee raises price, you actually gain more margin and you can reinvest that back into PPC. Now, this might push up your ACoS a bit, but your contribution profit dollars skyrocket. So every Monday, we can send you this neat, actionable spreadsheet. This is part of our service, right? Even getting on board our service is VIP white glove service. We send you this neat, actionable spreadsheet. It shows you the ASIN's price that's changing. It shows you how to adjust the bid or the budget on the top performing keyword and the expected ACoS shift that happens when you do that. And when you unify price and ad spend, it unleashes the synergy that can really double your net profit. So you're not siloing PPC anymore. And so you can give this to your PPC manager, or our team can actually do the work for you. We can take our AI model predictions and we can actually do the work for you. So with more price, demand changes and spend shifts with it. And that's really the missing ingredient that we've been able to solve. Now, I want to just pull up this one example that's on our website. You're going to see this is the best table to me that breaks it down incredibly. When you change, so here's a product price. Let's just say it's a garlic press at $24.97. Let's use that same example. And let's just say we increase the price by 20%. And let's also say that we increase the ACoS by 20%. Now, most agencies or most ad managers would say, oh my God, you're increasing the ACoS. That's bad. It's really bad. But when you look at what happens here, your landed cost has remained the same. Your referral fee went up 20% because your price went up. So Amazon's take has increased 20%. The FBA fee remains flat, and your gross profit dollars increased 60%. Then we scroll down to the ad spend. Ad spend increased 20%. And your contribution profit dollars, well, they doubled. They 2x'd. So your A cost looks like it's gotten worse. Your ROAS, your return on your ad spend, looks like it's deteriorated or got less efficient. But your profit, the absolute profit dollars of the business have doubled. And that is the heartbeat of your business. Your profit on your ad spend has increased 27%. And that is really the difference of using data and using our system to make you more money.
Sounds amazing. I would not think about the that numbers are like this. They look like this when you do calculations. Crazy.
It's wild, right? And so like
Yeah.
if you're running based on revenue metrics like ACOS or ROAS or even tacos, it benefits Amazon. And it really comes down to guessing because you're only focusing on one specific, you're babysitting a budget, you're shuffling the spend around without considering harmonizing the two biggest levers together and bringing them into alignment together. So instead of fighting yourself, you're really compounding profit, and this is the tool to make it happen. So yeah, so we, like I mentioned, we harmonize PPC spend as well, and then we've started to now bake that into the product too. But this is part of our service.
All right. Sounds great. A lot of logic and a lot of complicated AI algorithms in Profasee.
Profasee, yes. It's the word prophecy is predicting the future with a level of certainty.
Yes, yes. This, yeah, it's coming from that. That's great. Nice kind of game with words. So let's talk about the pricing. I'm really interested in how does it affect different regions or number of ASINs and so on.
So if you go to our website, you can go to pricing. Ironically, our pricing is all public. There's nothing to hide. And so if you scroll down, our pricing is driven based on how many ASINs you're optimizing for. So we don't need your whole catalog. We can start small as well. And so you pick your ASINs and then the revenue under management of those ASINs, which spits out a flat fee driven by ASIN. So you're only paying for the products that we're optimizing and tracking and harmonizing. There's no hidden fees. There's no penalties for scaling. There's no percentage of profit that we're taking. So if you've got 5 SKUs, you're paying for 5. If you've got up to 10, you're paying for 10. And I think that's fair because we're a vendor, right? Our job is to deliver you a result and to deliver you that result. It's not to take a percentage. And so this is a very important element of what we do here, where you're not stuck overpaying for a giant subscription that's taking a percentage of your business. So this is the only way that we figured out that it made sense, right? A flat fee per ASIN. It's predictable. It's scalable. It's tied directly to your business. And like I mentioned, we offer a 3x ROI guarantee. That's the full walkthrough, right? You've seen how we harmonize pricing, how we align PPC, and why our flat fee pricing is the fairest and strongest in the game. So I want to firstly give you a huge thank you for hosting me, Augustas. Thank you for having me on. I know that your audience is serious about growth, and I'm really pumped I got to share this with you today. So for everyone watching, we've got something special. If you go to the sign up link down below of this video, you're going to get 20% off. This is for new customers only. And it's using Orange Klik, right?
Klik. Yeah.
Orange
Orange
Klik.
Klik. So yeah, use the Orange Klik coupon code, click the link below and enjoy profits with guaranteed ROI 3x by Profasee.
Thank you. Thank you
Amazing.
again for the time. Thank you for watching. And I'm going to see everyone on the inside of the platform.
Thank you, Chad, and good luck in your business. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
I hope this video will help you to optimize your Amazon pricing strategies to increase profit margins. And if you want to try Profasee yourself, check the link in the video description and use the code OrangeClick for an exclusive 20% discount when you're signing up. Also, don't forget to hit like and subscribe buttons for our channel. If you have additional questions about AI-powered pricing optimization, leave them in the comments section below. And now I recommend you to watch another video where you will learn how to start selling on Temu. So check this out.